Okay, I'm going to show you how I finish my bookmarks. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some iron-on fusible backing. This is usually used for quilting. I like the really thin ones personally, but you can kind of use whatever you have. And then this is Fray Check. This is a liquid seam sealer. It's really, really great. I get this at Michael's. And you're going to need a little iron. Now, this is flammable. We're not going to be ironing onto it, but just keep that in mind that if you have to iron over this, which you really shouldn't, make sure it's something on low heat. Like I just have this little craft iron. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cross stitch, grab my scissors, and I'm just going to cut one stitch out. So it's just one past. So I'm just going to do that probably a little bit off camera so I can see. Yeah. So you can see I'm just cutting one stitch. Be very careful not to cut your stitches. And just one stitch out. And I'll do that for all four sides. Okay, and we can get rid of the extras here. And then I'm going to take my fusible backing. I'm going to cut out a little piece about the size of the bookmark, just a little bit bigger. Okay, so I've got my piece here. Now there's usually one side that is meant to stick on and the other side that's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it like that. That's the sticky side. Flip it over and just smooth it out a little bit. And then run over it with my iron a few times. And I just want this to iron on. This really helps the stitches stay in place so they're not moving around, especially when you have those little tails. It's really great for that. So just run that over, really run over the edges, especially, I'll probably have to do this a few times. This is a low heat heater, so you know, it may take a little bit, but better safe than sorry. All right, and then take that off. Of course, it's sticking to my ironing mat. And then I will going to cut it out again. Okay. It doesn't have to be super clean right now. And then I'm going to just go over it again, just so it's nice and stuck. Okay, so now I have my piece. I just want to make sure that it's secure onto the backing. If it's not 100%, the Fray Check will help with that. So just keep running it over. Okay, great. So now I have my Fray Check. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal the stitches. So you want to aim for, like you can see there's that little bit of white we have. You want to aim for the blue, right? You want to seal that up. Now it'll get wet, but it dries clear, and I kind of like to overdo it so that it's really secure. So I'm just going to open this up. This is a new one, so I have to snap that off. And then I'm just going to really aim for the stitches so that they don't fray. You do that on all four sides. Really get that in there. It's okay to kind of overdo it a little bit. You can even get in between the Ida and the backing. Focus on those corners. Just rubbing it in a little bit. Just again, aim for those stitches. Okay, And you're just going to let that completely dry. And once it's dry, you can just go in and trim around. You can try to get as close to the stitches as possible. If you have like a lot of fray check there, it should be fine. It shouldn't undo, but you want to be very careful. So I'm just going to let that dry and then we'll come back. So I'm just going to finish this by trimming off the edges, and again I want to get as close to the stitches without actually cutting into them. So it's a good idea to kind of angle your scissors this way. So I'm going to do my best to do this on camera without messing things up. And there is the bookmark. Now there's still a couple edges I might clean up here. If you notice that you cut into your stitches, it happens. You can always just go back in with the fray check and clean it up a little bit. And that's that. Thanks for watching.